So I just walked past this mushroom that I said, oh, watch out for amanitas, and I said that's a blusher, and sure enough it is not actually. You know what it is? It's another species similar to blusher, which by the way is it's not poisonous, you know. So I mean, if you would pick that one, then you wouldn't die. It's just a mushroom that is non-edible because it's not very tasty. But as far as I am aware, and I'm gonna double check, it's not poisonous. But see, that's the thing. I thought, oh, that's a blusher, you know. And oh, there's Rick. Okay, there's a roe deer over there. I guess Rick went after it a little bit. But that was not a blusher, actually. It looked like one when it was very young, but I'm pretty sure if I would pick it up, I would notice it's not, because blushers always have a sort of pink rose tint to it. Somewhere on that mushroom, whether it will be on the leg or on the cap or anywhere else really, it always will have a pink rosy tinge, you know. Always. And if it's not there, it's not it. Okay. And hell, maybe there might be some mushroom that might be so, like, unlikely. I don't recall a blusher that wouldn't have this feature. It's a number one field sign that has to be there every single time, and if it's not, don't touch it. Don't pick it up. And again, as I was saying, unless you're 100% certain, and I'm gonna really say this again, with mushrooms, when you start out, you know, go out with someone who's experienced, and really pick just what you are 100% certain with, and something that is unmistakable for some other poisonous. Hold on, I have some. Yeah, it's like a little fly dropped into my boot. Something that is not misidentifiable with a poisonous species, you know. Because if there is a mushroom like that and you're picking its edible counterpart that looks similar to it, you gotta be 100% certain. 100, not 99.9, 100. You know. So because I feel like so many people are just like sort of too relaxed when it comes to picking mushrooms. They're like, you know, I guess it's this, and I guess no. This mindset does not belong to mushroom picking. You gotta be certain every single time. There are so many poisoning cases where people get either very, very sick, or they, I don't know, have kidney failures and they die. You know, like really, it's not a joke. And you gotta be certain when you're picking mushrooms, because I'm not trying to demonize mushrooms. The mushrooms are amazing and I love picking them, and they're delicious, and it's so much fun picking them. But don't take it lightly, and always, you know, inspect the mushrooms. Don't get overly confident. Always be humble. You know, that's sorry, I'm just gonna check because I feel like hopefully it was just a piece of branch, but I almost felt like I stepped on a snail there, but I don't think so. No. I think it was just a branch. Yeah, it would feel different. Yeah, it was a branch. Okay, cool. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure. So, you know, when you're picking mushrooms, don't take it lightly. Be humble, really. Like, don't get too cocky when you're picking mushrooms. As you get experienced and you will be doing it for years. Don't get too cocky and sure of yourself, because you don't want to do that with mushrooms, really. Like, always be cautious, always be humble when it comes to your experiences and knowledge, and exercise caution all the time. There'll be mushrooms that are absolutely unmistakable. Like, you can pretty much get confident with those. Like, I'm thinking, what mushroom would that be? But for instance, you have these yellow, what's their name? I'm gonna have to put the name in the subtitles, but it's like yellow. It has a sap-like texture under the cap, and it's very gooey. It's got a very sort of slippery, sticky, transparent, fluid-like surface of the cap. It's like very hold on. It's like really as if someone would lubricate the entire mushroom, and that's how it looks like. And I know that doesn't sound appetizing, but it's actually a very tasty mushroom, and some people peel it so they don't get this gooey thing along with it. And hold on, Drake is having troubles passing this little I mean, come on, man. So some people peel it so they don't get this gooey texture. Come on, Drake, it's not that bad. Ooh, wow, I think there was a chick, I think, hidden in there in the brambles. The reason why I think it was a chick, because its flight was very sort of non-graceful. It was like quite loud, low, and it looks like it took a lot of effort just to make some distance. So I think that was a chick that just started, they just flew out of the nest. It's like very much the season for it now, because hold on, I'm gonna help Drake. It's very much the season for it. Alright. No, Drake, čekaj, já ti pomůžu, no. Počkej, koupřili. Nettles. Sorry. Hold on. No, not this way. That's a tree that fell recently, so he cannot pick it through. Hold on. So go through here. And, oh my god, okay, good. And then I'm gonna let you down here. There you go. Yeah, so it's very much the season for chicks. And I'm gonna that's a brilliant bridge to what I was gonna say as well. But let's finish the mushroom topic first, and I'm gonna get back to that, okay? So mushrooms, yeah. So that one, some people peel it to not get the gooey texture, but it's actually one of the mushrooms you want to be gooey, because you can put it in sauces, you can put it in soups, and it's gonna make your soup or sauce naturally thick, and you don't have to use any sort of floury anything to kind of make the sauce or soup thick. You can just put this mushroom in, and it's gonna make it naturally thick. I think it's brilliant. So perfect mushroom for sauces and all that. But it's like the mushroom that you see. It's bright yellow. It's got under the cap. It looks like a sap. It's entirely bright yellow, and it's got this slippery, gooey texture that is like entirely encased in it. That's unmistakable mushroom. It's hard. There's hardly anything else like that. It tastes good. It smells good. So it's one of the mushrooms that you can pretty much get confident with. But I would say, even with that one and with every other mushroom, be humble, exercise caution, and have like sort of just don't get overly confident. That's what I would say. It's like a number one advice and rule I would give to anyone who would like to start picking mushrooms and like to get into it. After a while, you're gonna get sure of yourself with the identifications and all that. Don't get overly confident, for your own good and for good of everyone else. If someone is gonna share the mushrooms with you, just be cautious. And you know, mushrooms are amazing, but there are some species that can really hurt you, some species that can kill you. So it's really good to know your mushrooms, pick only the ones that you're certain with 100%, and don't get overly confident. Check every singular mushroom that you're picking. You know, if there's a group of mushrooms, inspect all of them. Don't just like say, oh, this is that, and pick the entire group, because there can be one that looks like the one you're picking, but it's hidden among the ones that are edible. It actually happened, you know, a very experienced mushroom picker who was doing it for decades, got poisoned by an Amanita species that was hidden among a group of blushers, and he just overly confidently picked the entire thing along with this poisonous one, and he got poisoned, you know. So that's a cautionary tale. Really, 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 really be cautious and don't get overly confident. And that's what I'm gonna end this particular topic. You know, even I forget it sometimes. I'm like, yeah, of course this is this mushroom. Even I get overly confident. I forget about these things. But it's really, really good to, you know, not do that, and really always sort of healthily question yourself, you know, like, is that really it? Check it out. If you're 100% certain, good, that goes in the basket. That's gonna be my meal. Cool. But really, really, really do that every single time. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And oh, and yeah, blushers, as I was saying, field mark number 1, it always have to have a rosy, pinkish, yellow tinge. If it doesn't have it, it's not a blusher. That's that. So, yeah, and there are other, there are definitely other field marks that I'm going to talk about. It's really important to match all of them, ideally. But I am personally, here in Czech Republic, there are no other Amanita species that have this field mark. There is no other rosy, pinky, blushy Amanita species that grow here. So if that Amanita has that here, I know I can pick it. I know it's a blusher, and I've been doing that for years, and I'm fine. And yeah, it works here. So if you have blushers in your area, do check what kind of other potentially similar species are there that could have or could share the similar field marks with blusher. Because if you live in, I don't know, Spain, there might be mushrooms. I'm not aware. I have never picked mushrooms anywhere else but Czech Republic, and maybe France, but not really. Mostly Czech Republic. So here the blushers are easy because, again, there's only one species of mushrooms that have this pinkish tinge, and it's blusher. But if you live somewhere else, I don't know, Norway, Spain, Portugal, France, South Italy, I don't know, check whether the blusher is the only species that is pink and gets this pinkish tinge, because it might not be, and then you have to exercise even more caution if you would like to pick that one. For me here, it's easy, you know, there's only one, and it's the blusher that has this pinkish tinge and pinkish, you know, accent. Either on its leg or when you break it, it gets pink, you know, and so on and so forth. So it's kind of easy. It's really, really relatively easy to identify. Anyways, enough on that. You might wonder why I'm going through here. And the reason for that is that I believe there might be some seps mushrooms. And my girlfriend want to cook a soup, a Czech soup. I think it's traditionally Czech, called kulajda, which contains mushrooms, the forest species, because they have the most aroma and taste. And I was thinking, maybe it's too soon for seps, because they usually grow in June, like start to grow. But apparently they can grow as soon as May, And these particular ceps that I'm looking for are actually the first ones that grow out of the cep species. And everything has been quite ahead for like 4 weeks, you know, almost a month. So hey, there might be growing already. That's why I'm here, because there is a particular place here, particular spot that is the most amazing spot for ceps that I've ever found. Like, I found so many ceps here, you wouldn't believe. And it doesn't look like much, you know, this particular spot, but it's absolutely amazing when it comes to ceps. But I think when I'm looking at it, I think it's just way too soon. Just as I thought, I don't know, I intuitively thought it's too soon, because I was finding them here, it was probably June. Used to be June, you know, most of the time. And as much as I look, I don't really see anything. Hold on, let me just go through here. They're usually scattered on the side of the path. Some of them are here as well. But no, and I think, interestingly enough, no, it's not dry. It looks dry, but it's not. So it's not dry really, but I think it's too soon. And hell, I mean, they might grow in a week, you know, it might be very quick or very fast, but as far as I can tell, they're not here now. No, I mean, we would see them already. If it would be the season, if it would be the time, they would be all over the place. I mean, I harvested and picked like a whole bag of true ceps from this place, only from this little part, like 10 meters, you know. It's absolutely amazing. And it's a spot like very few people go to, and it's funny because it's right next to the road, right? But it's a road that no one goes through, or like very few people go through. And I guess people just don't think, like, it wouldn't cross my mind either that there could be ceps right here, right? But I just noticed once, and since then I was going here and picking those ceps, because they are really amazing and really healthy. There's no like worms inside, anything. They're firm, they're tasty, they are, hold on. No. They're firm, they're tasty, they're amazing, really, but not the time yet. I even took my bag just in case they will be here. But no, I think it's too early. My guess is, I would personally guess like the earliest they will grow is like 2 weeks from now on, because there has been a lot of rains. Now it's gonna be warm in the upcoming days. There's something over there. Nah, that's not edible. I mean, not that I know of, at least. So there has been lots of rains, loads of rainfall and precipitation. Now it's gonna be warm. It's still warm, I mean, but it's gonna be even warmer. So I think I would give it a week or two and they will be there. I think we're gonna come back for sure again soon, but for now it is too soon. Yeah, and hell, you know, I've been even down to that mushroom I told you about, the chicken of the woods that grows from the logs, from a dead tree. I've been coming there every year since I moved in. So 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 4 times I picked the mushrooms in there. And it's super tasty, and I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite mushrooms. And it grew from the same log every year. And this year I was there, I was detecting, and I noticed there's nothing at all. There's no signs of it. So that's the first year it's not there. I wonder if it's because of the conditions, or if it just like the log just got depleted, you know, and there are no longer any. Hold on, I think Ray found something. Riku, tady jdeme. Yeah. There's usually shit. Not shit, but there has been historically a lot of weird stuff in there, because you know there's a gamekeeper's lookout over there. There's a feeder here, and you know, entrails, dead deer, and so on and so forth. So not an unusual thing. So yeah, anyways, the mushroom wasn't there for the first time in 4 years. So either the log got depleted, which could be because it's just a fallen tree that slowly is, you know, rotting and breaking down, and maybe the mushroom just used all its resources. I don't know how long it was growing there, maybe a decade, I have no idea. And maybe it's gonna grow later. I might check it later on when I go there detecting, but usually May was the time it was already out. So, and since everything is sort of ahead, I would expect it to already grow. So that was interesting. But if you find chicken of the woods somewhere growing, come back to that place, and again next year it's gonna grow there again, and then again and again and again. It's an awesome mushroom in that regard, because it's like it's a never-ending growth cycle, and grows and grows and grows. By the way, chicken of the woods is one of the mushrooms that I'm super confident with, because there is hardly any other mushroom that resembles it. You know, when you find chicken of the woods, it's just so specific in how it looks and how it smells, and like everything about it that, like, you know, it's hard to misidentify. But again, you know, that's here. I don't know if you have any other in your country, if you have any other species that resemble it. You have to check, you know, you have to make sure, okay, this is the only one that looks like this. Cool, I can, whenever I find it, I can just pick it up and be cool, you know. This crowing is not a good, I mean, nothing against crows, but you know, crows kind of gather close to, you know, carcasses and all that. So yeah, right here is Drake, so that's good. Let's take it by the edge, because sometimes there are growing steps here too. Let's give Drake a treat. So yeah, chicken of the woods is one of the mushrooms that I'm very confident with, because there is nothing like it, and it's one of my favorite ones too. And it's a mushroom that grows all the time, you know, until I guess it depletes the resource it grows on. So either it's a stump, or it's a dead tree, it's a fallen log. But it grows on live trees too, you know, like trees that have some damage and they start growing on it. So I guess they can grow on these longer than on a fallen logs. But if you find one, remember that place. You can come back there every year and pick it up again and again and again every season. And you have to pick it up fresh when it's very tender, when it's coming out, and when it's very soft and tender, that's when you want it. Because later on it becomes brittle and it becomes very hard and sort of wood-like. And it loses its taste and it loses the texture, and it's not really very edible anymore. So you want it fresh. It grows usually, at least here in Central Europe, it grows in May. So you want it as soon as it starts growing out. You want to harvest it then. I'm just looking if there are any potentially. No, I don't see anything. And usually it starts like that, really. You know, you have parasol mushrooms, then you have Amanita species. Very often the one that I found there, you know, the one that I thought it was a blusher, but it was a gray one. It's a gray Amanita. Those are usually one of the first ones that sprout up, and then everything else starts to later on. That's at least how I remember it. We can take it through here. I mean, just check if there is anything worth picking, but I think it's just too early. Yeah, like there is a lot of precipitation, everything is perfect in terms of conditions, but I think it's too soon. It needs more time to prepare. Yeah, those are not edible. So yeah, chicken of the woods. And hold on, I was thinking of other one. Yeah, there's another one that grows from the same place every year as well. I love these mushrooms because once you find a place, it's a spot that you know of, and you can come back to it later and every year, and you're gonna have it again and again and again. It's just amazing. It's like a storage, sort of, you know, storage of mushroom that you can use every year and come back to it. I just smelled a very particular smell. It was like a musk, not Elon Musk, but a musk, you know, like fox or a boar or something. Interesting, very strong smell. I think it was boar probably, because they smell a lot. Like you can really smell their musk, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, another mushroom that grows this way. Hold on, I'm gonna check if I have battery. Yeah, I do. Good. Let me just correct the angle here a little bit. So what I was talking about? Yeah, the other mushroom that grows similar way, like chicken of the woods, from the same spot, is a cauliflower mushroom. And that is one of my favorites too, because it has very unique aroma and smell, like nothing like any other mushroom. It smells like pine needles. It has very, very, very spicy smell, but spicy, a specific spicy aroma, really, and taste too, actually. And it's got a very unique texture as well. It's not mushroomy and not like soft and sort of. It's not soft as some of the mushrooms are when you cook them. It actually retains its original texture and firmness even when you cook it, you know. So it's like I don't know what to compare it to, really, but it's crunchy and firm, and when you cook it, it's still that way. And so it's perfect for people that don't really like the gooey texture of some mushrooms. This one is the exact opposite. How long you will cook it, it still remains firm and crunchy, and it has this very unique, beautiful aroma. I always, when I find it, I bury my it's a bone, looks like a skull. I always bury my nose inside of it and just smell it, because it's just it just smells like a bunch of, yeah, like pine needles, like a coniferous forest, like pine resin. I can't really describe it in its I can't give it enough justice how beautifully it smells, but it's, to me, it resembles mostly pine needles and pine resin. So this like beautiful foresty smell, and it grows, and that's very specific. Oh, that was a mushroom here. It grows, I think parasol probably. It grows on pine. It grows from pine, like stumps and pine. Oh, look at that! Look at that! So this one right here is slightly dryish, but it is a blusher, you know. And hold on, let me show you. And again, this is not a manual, okay? Like video is not enough, you know, to learn about these mushrooms. But I'm just gonna show you why I think, and I'm certain that this is a blusher, because see the pinkish yellow, the pinkish sort of tinges here. It got grazed by probably a slug or something, and it's on that spot there. That's the freshest, you know, chewed up spot, and it's very lightly pink, you know, and that's how you're gonna know that is a blusher. Also, if we would pick it up, I don't gonna do it. I'm gonna leave it alone, because it's just one blusher and grows by the side of the road, so I'm not kind of keen to pick that one up. But if we would pick it up, you would see that the base of the foot will be, we're gonna pick some blushers certainly later on, but not this one. But if we would pick it up, you would see that the base of the foot would be very heavily sort of pinkly colored, and especially if you cut it with a knife later on, it's going to get a pinkish discoloration of the cut. So that was undoubtedly a blusher. That was not the gray one that I found as the first one, and I thought it's a blusher. Because it was very, very fresh, you know, it was very fresh, it was growing freshly out of the ground, and it didn't really show its colors yet. It looked like very light colored, and there was no like grayish brown, which is exactly the field mark of those gray amanitas, which are, by the way, just non-edible, which is good, you know. So I think some people even pick it and cook it, but it's just not. They just, you know, I don't want him to go into the field, because recently Oh wow, look at all the poppy seeds. That's beautiful. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. But yeah, unfortunately, recently, yesterday, there was a tractor who sprayed the entire field with whatever they spray it with, you know, like some shit, some chemical stuff. So I don't want him to go into it, really, especially now, you know. Maybe after a couple of rains it's gonna be better, but yeah, they sprayed it yesterday. Not something I love to see, really. Like love to see, like I like to see. Yeah, I'm always like, when I see them spraying the field, I'm like, oh, you know. Yeah, but what can you do? Anyway, that's the reason why I don't want to let him there. So that's the field mark of these gray amanitas, and some people pick them, as far as I know, but they just don't taste good. So why would you do it, right? Unless you're starving. What was I saying? Yes, blusher. Yeah, so we're gonna definitely pick it up at some point, and I'm gonna show you what I mean. But blusher, on the other hand, is a very tasty amanita, like a very tasty mushroom in general. And it's, as far as I recall, there are some amanitas that are also edible, and one of theirs is highly prized, and it's the, I'm gonna put in the subtitles, but it's like a Caesar, like it's like a emperor's amanita. Like, I'm just trying to translate it because I know its name in Czech, but it's quite rare, and I have never seen it myself, and I would have troubles. I wouldn't probably pick it up. Oh, see that? So that's the gray one I was talking about. This is the gray amanita species. So this cannot be a blusher because it does not have, see how it's bitten here by, grazed by the, I guess, probably slugs. There is not a single sign of a pinkish tinge, nowhere on the mushroom. And if you oh shit, sorry, I didn't want to do that, but we why we already did it. It was grazed and chewed on by the slugs, so it was the leg was weakened. Okay, so the camera just like turned off because there is low battery. I mean, there's still 11%, so I don't see that as completely depleted. But I'm just gonna quickly finish what I was saying. See, you cannot see any pinkish tinge on this one, and that's exactly it. Blusher would always have a pinkish tinge. So this one is the gray one that is just non-edible. You know, it's not tasty, that's all. Anyways, since I have low battery, I'm gonna really quickly finish what I was saying. So that one, the cauliflower mushroom, grows on pine stumps, pine trees, specifically pine trees. So pine stumps, pine roots, and you're gonna find it in these spots, and it's gonna grow there every year. And so it's turned off again. Yeah, it really doesn't want me to finish the video. So it grows. I don't know if I finished correctly, but when I was cut off, I didn't notice. But it grows right next to the stumps of pine trees. And that's all I wanted to say regarding cauliflower mushrooms. And I think I probably would be wise to just sign off now because it's gonna cut me off again. There was one topic I want to get back into. If you remember, I was talking about that chick that flew off the brambles, and I said that's a really nice bridge to a topic I wanted to talk about. But since I don't have battery anymore, let's talk about that tomorrow. But I'm just gonna hint that I rescued a little bird yesterday, and I think the camera, no, it's still going. I rescued a little chick yesterday, so I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. That's why I was saying, oh, chick, that's a good bridge to something I wanted to tell you. But I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow. And right now the camera's still running good. Right now I'm just gonna say that was it for today. And I'm signing off because I have to, because the camera has a low battery and it's gonna cut me off soon again. So that was that, and see you tomorrow.